I feel the need to lock in everybody. Welcome to the best part of your week. Welcome to another episode of the Love, Death and Movies podcast, Internet's #1 film breakdown and review show. The show that crushes watch this week after week. Every month is a different genre. Every week is a different film, that genre. So follow us and everything. Join us on the ride. Let's watch some movies. That wasn't bad. All right. That was like, as soon as I said it, I was like, oh, that's cringy as fuck. But like, let's fucking go. With me each and every week, part of the West Coast, Ash First Movies. Ash, how are you?
I'm doing good.
That's good. I'm also good as well. I'm Harry, if you guys didn't know. Today we are finishing our month of Val. Remembering Val is how Ash very boldly said. In a good way. I like that title, Remembering Val. That's really good. We're finishing off with the original Top Gun, because we did want to do Top Gun Maverick, but he's only in there for a scene. And to be honest, he's also not in this one so much, but it's good to kind of revisit Top Gun, I think. But before we get into that, Ash, we are double recording. Should we announce what we're doing next month? In terms of
What are we doing next month?
in terms of like there'll be a break.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
I'm joking.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, exactly. So we're going through a rebrand. So we're not going away, but we're going to take a month off, and we're going through a rebrand, and you'll see how the show is going to be looking very different, and we're going to do. There's got a lot of cool shit that's going to happen. We've got a lot of stuff in the pipeline, and we need kind of like a spare month to get everything done. We've only got 4 hands, so it is tough. But we are coming back in July. Can we announce that month yet? Have we decided? We know what that month is, right? That
Do
is.
we?
We'll put it up on socials after. I'll message you through. Like I'll send you one note right now, and if we don't know exactly which. Sorry if you heard that. We don't know exactly what movies are on there. I don't think yet, but I think we know the genre that we're gonna go to after this, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So the month of July, we're going to come back with a month of Steven Spielberg. So we're going to go through our favorite Steven Spielberg films, or the best ones that. So we'll be. I don't think we have an exact list yet, do we? Of it yet.
Yeah. No.
No, which is okay. But we'll be putting up a post probably mid-June just to show off what we're going to be watching. So we'll be watching that, but like for the month of June, recalibrate yourselves. And then we're going to hit the ground running come July, which will be good fun. But
Yes,
until
sir.
then, we're going to be getting into Top Gun. Ash, how was your last 10 minutes since the last time we recorded?
Good. I'm extremely hot right now because, as I told you, 5 to 8, I can't use my air conditioner because people who pay my electricity bill to are assholes. So in 3 minutes, I get my air conditioner and I will be functioning like a normal human again.
So I'll control this pod for 3 minutes,
Yeah.
and then it's a duo pod again.
Fire away.
I feel like that's all right. I'm excited to talk about this because I'm seeing Top Gun Maverick tonight in front of it's like a
Perfect
symphonic.
timing.
It's Sydney Symphonic Orchestra doing the score while the movie's playing. So that will be so cool. And I just love Top
Insane.
Gun Maverick. I think we can both agree that Top Gun Maverick is like the best legacy sequel like that I can think of all time. Like maybe even Creed. Creed's up there. I love Creed. Like probably the best modern legacy sequel. It was such a success, but we wanted to kind of revisit Top Gun just because of Val, but also gave us kind of a excuse to. But released in 1986, directed by Tony Scott, Ridley Scott's brother, late brother. Sorry, rest in peace. Budget of $15 million. Which, like, that's why I wanted to ask you when we were talking about Willow, of, like, what the budget was. And it was, like, how much was Willow? It's, like,
35.
35, which doesn't seem like a lot, but in the 80s, that's a lot. This was a budget of 15 mil. So, like, the difference is huge. Box office of 357 million.
Of course, this is America's movie.
Yeah, but how did it take so long to make a fucking sequel? That's what I'm thinking. Like, it made so much money. But hey, they did it right,
I
and then they made $1 billion. So, like, it's totally sweet.
I think there's this thing now, it seems like with actors, they really ignite the project. Like even how Ryan Reynolds is the only reason that Deadpool and Wolverine happened. It's like Tom Cruise is the only reason that Top Gun Maverick happened. Like that is starting to happen more and more. I feel like they're getting more comfortable or they have their own like production companies or whatever it is, and they're making these movies happen because they're super passionate about it. So
Yep.
kind of makes sense.
Yeah, absolutely. I should just give you a quick synopsis. The Top Gun Naval Fighter Weapons School is where the best of the best train to refine their elite flying skills. When hotshot fighter pilot Maverick is sent to the school, his reckless attitude and cocky demeanor puts him at odds with the other pilots, especially the cool and collected Iceman, played by Val Kilmer. Ash, what do you think of Top Gun?
I think there's some fun stuff here. I do love a good 80s movie. It's definitely very cheesy. I think some of the fighting slash, I guess, like fighter pilot, flying scenes are really cool. Not like super into it, but I think it's cool. It makes for a good movie and good, up on the screen. But I'll be honest, this one focuses way too much on this romance that I just don't like. Don't buy it.
Should have been Meg Ryan. Should have been Meg Ryan.
But I like Meg Ryan with Goose, but it's like you barely even get to see her.
Yeah.
He barely even gets a chance to spend time with her.
But she's so good at chemistry, though.
She is, and she's so adorable in this movie, but she's only there for like 10 minutes max.
She does have probably the best line of the entire film. Goose, you big stud, take me to bed or lose me forever. It's so good.
Yeah, so good. I don't know. I thought it was like there's parts that are funny. There's parts that are cool, but overall, like this just reminds me of like the 80s did this thing where they wanted to get butts in seats and they knew what would work for like adults at that time.
Yeah.
They made things like Dirty Dancing and Top Gun and Footloose, and like I just don't. To me, it just does nothing for me. Like I'm not mad that I watched it, but it does nothing for me. Like I'm not gonna want to rewatch it. I'm not gonna think about it. I just don't care.
What do you think of Top Gun Maverick?
I really love Top Gun Maverick. Like it shocked me how much I liked it. I was like one of those people who was like, I'll watch it whenever I get a chance. I don't really care about Top Gun. And I watched it at home actually, and I thought it was super good. But I just feel like that one focused more on the like brotherhood and like the flying and like the whole aspect of like some of the emotion behind a lot of what they go through. Whereas this one I wasn't buying it. Like most of what was happening, I was not into it. And I really did not like that woman was like going for this younger guy, and I don't know, the romance was really not believable.
Yeah, I get that with the romance. I think for me, everything else, I love it. Like the whole style of this film, it's just so centered around just cockiness and identity, which is really just cool. I think that Cruise is so good at this character. He loves this character. Also, like anyone that says that Maverick is a better character than Ethan Hunt from Mission Impossibles, like you're out of your mind, because majority of people don't know who Maverick's real name, which is Pete Mitchell. Like majority of people don't know that.
That's interesting. See, I thought that Goose and Ice were both way better characters than him. We've been going through Tom Cruise movies, so I can say this now. I've watched enough.
Yeah, that's fine.
He can do a cocky character well, but here it just did not come off well.
He does it better in Maverick.
I think he polishes it, and he's gotten better as an actor over time, and I think that's clear. Like, you're talking about 86 to 2020 something. Like, he's clearly gotten better. I think the 90s is really where he started to perfect himself as an actor, and I think he got a lot better. So personally, I didn't think he was that great in this. I thought Val was better, and I thought that the guy who plays Goose, I thought he was really comical and just added a nice like lightness to everything. I don't know. I honestly could care less about Maverick's character in this movie, which is sad because I think he's such a crucial part of the sequel. And obviously does a great job. So it's just a little disappointing. I don't know. It's always weird when the original is worse than the sequel. It's very interesting.
But like I love this movie. I think the Maverick is a head and leagues taller than this film. But I do enjoy this film. But let's get into it, Ash. This is, as we discussed before, this is a very simple film. All right, so there's not that much to it. So I've only got 2 pages of notes, so there's not that much into it, but we'll get into it. The aircraft carrier Enterprise is on a patrol near the Persian Gulf when radar contact's made with an MiG fighter. Did you notice that there's a red star on these jets? We don't know where they're from. They don't identify the country. We could probably guess it's one country, Russia.
It's Russia, right?
Yeah. But like they don't really specify.
Do they need to though?
They don't. It's like it's just like enemy coming in.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's all it needs. The combat air patrol of the Enterprise is vectored to meet the incoming aircraft, and the fighters involved are F-14 Tomcat interceptors, each manned by a pilot and a radar intercept officer. So they've got a pilot and a wingman. The pilot on the lead ship is Lieutenant Peter Mitchell, Tom Cruise, going by the call sign Maverick. Great call sign. Everyone can agree that is an awesome.
I wonder how
awesome
many people have named their baby Maverick since Top Gun Maverick
I
came
want to
out.
see how many people name their dog Maverick ever since Top Gun Maverick came out for sure. A call sign appropriate for his arrogant and rule-bending attitude. His RIO, which is again, I had the radar intercept officer, is his wingman, is Lieutenant Nicholas Bradshaw, also known as Goose. That's his call sign. Their wingmate goes by the same call sign Cougar, with his ROI call sign Merlin. So you've got Cougar, Merlin, Goose, Maverick, all up in the air. The two F-14s split up and are surprised when the second MiG is shielded from their radar by riding within feet of its leaders. Cougar is maneuvered by MiG-1, while Maverick locks his missile radar onto MiG-2, which promptly disengages. He just wants to lock onto him. That makes him fuck off. MiG-1, bad guy, stays on Cougar and is only chased off when Maverick flies underside, inverted, gives him the finger, and so good. So they disengage and the two Tomcats fly to the Enterprise, but Cougar is so rattled he cannot land, forcing Maverick low on fuel and against orders once again to abort his own landing and talk Cougar to the deck. Cougar sees the captain of the Enterprise, known as Stinger, who's just the whitest white guy of all time, and turns in his wings. This forces Stinger to change his intended disciplinary action against Maverick, for he must send a Tomcat tandem for additional combat training at the Navy's Fighter Weapons School in California near San Diego, and the captain's disgusted that Maverick is the only qualified candidate for the assignment. The assignment is Top Gun. That's the school that they have to send him to. So that is kind of the opening. Is there anything kind of to add here of the introduction of these two of like it's clear that like he goes against rules, yada yada yada.
Yeah. I mean, it really reminded me of a little bit of how he is in A Few Good Men, like towards the beginning, like kind of that cocky, like gonna do what he wants to do. I just didn't think it was as good and polished here, but it just kind of gave the vibes of that classic, like there's always that guy that's in the group of the military men, who wants to kind of go against the authority and he's doing things that maybe he thinks are right, but they're against the rules. So there's kind of that morality piece, I guess. But that scene with the guy who was struggling, that was kind of brutal. Like the way they filmed that and the way he was looking like at his wife and kid in the picture and kind of his panic attack. I thought that was actually kind of took me back, like how serious like that scene turned in that moment. And then you just like follow it up with the bird and taking a Polaroid. And I love that later when Goose is like, I have a Polaroid of it.
Yeah, Goose route, he never gets triggered. Like Goose, like that's what I love about him. Where he's just like he does the inverted and Val Kilmer, like where he describes it, and Val's like bullshit. Apparently that wasn't scripted as well, and all that reaction was like just like not scripted at all. But he's just like, I've actually got a Polaroid of it. Yeah, he's just like, no, so I was there. It was great. It was a great movement.
Yeah, actually, it's funny sidebar because you mentioned it. I actually was reading about a thing from Warwick Davis where he said that his experience working with Val was like great, and he was like a really talented actor. But he said that he ad-libbed a lot of his lines.
Yeah,
and it's funny that you just said that he ad-libbed that. I have a feeling that he probably does that in every movie because I feel like every movie he's in, there's always a couple iconic lines that come from him.
Yeah. So. Well, like, again, to another tangent. I mentioned it the last episode, but during the week I went and saw a screening of The Surfer, which is a Nicolas Cage film based in Australia. And they had some of the Australian cast there doing a Q&A. And they said, like, there's so many lines from Nick Cage in the film that he completely ad-libbed. That he just, like, he read the lines and goes, I know the character for the day. And he would just walk around the set and it apparently is so nuts. There's like one scene in particular, I'm not going to say what it is because it really gives it away, this one line. But yeah, message me when you've seen The Surfer because you will love The Surfer, I think.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
I love a good ad lib line. Good on him. That's where I think
Yeah.
that's like the difference between a really really good actor and a great actor is being able to
Hmm.
like engross yourself in that character that you can add something that is relevant. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Anyway, Maverick, however, is quietly overjoyed as he regards the assignment as an opportunity and upon arrivals begins to build a rivalry with fellow Tomcat pilot Tom Kaczynski, also call signed Iceman, played by Val Kilmer, who's hot as fuck in this. And he's RIO, call sign Slider. Bad one. Bad call sign. Bad call sign. We can all agree there. At a bar the night after the first day at the school, Maverick notices a pretty young woman in jeans and hits on her by following her into the ladies' room. Okay, don't do that. Don't do
This
that.
reminds me of when we were watching 16 Candles, and I was just like, God, the things people got away with in the 80s.
Yeah, do not do that. But fun fact here, Charlie's older date at the officers' club is the real life Viper, which is Pete Pettigrew. He's a retired Navy pilot and Top Gun instructor and shot down an MiG during the Vietnam War. He served as the technical consultant on the film. But that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool for you. It seems not to work until the next day she appears at the school, for she is a DOD instructor on enemy aircraft known as Charlie, Kelly McGinnis. Played by Kelly McGinnis. But she begins to become smitten with Maverick before the official competition begins, even though he looks way younger than her. Way
He
younger.
is younger than her, for
Yeah.
sure.
I looked up, he's 5 years younger than her in real life, but in the film, I would say that he's like 10 years
Yeah.
younger than her. I think that's fair. In his first exercise, Maverick takes on the school resident enemy pilot, call sign Jester, and succeeds in outmaneuvering him and shooting him down in air quotes, like just locking onto him. But in doing so, he flies below a set minimum engagement altitude, a hard deck, and then compounds this faux pas by flying overflying a flight tower at absurdly low altitude just to show himself off. You can see there's a lot of cockiness, etc. in this.
Hmm.
Iceman chews out Maverick for his unsafe attitude, and Maverick refuses to have any of it. Even after the school's leader, Commander Michael Metcalf, which is call sign Viper, so that's the film's Viper, summons him to his office and threatens to expel him should he continue this way. Metcalf, however, knows Maverick, for Maverick's father flew with him in Vietnam and was shot down when he engaged in the enemy's neutral airspace. Anything kind of to add here, Ash? Because we're already kind of halfway through the film here.
Yeah, I just really like Val Kilmer whenever he's on screen. He's really good at playing an ass. Like, not even he's an
He's
asshole,
not
but
an
he's just
ass
really
at
good at.
all in this, but he's like pictured as an asshole, like in the way that
Yeah,
it
that's
is.
kind of the best way to say it because he's not like the classic like asshole, like just for the sake of being an asshole. He cares about rules and he cares about
Yeah.
doing things a certain way. And obviously Maverick goes against what he believes in. But I would say he can be kind of menacing in some of the moments where he's kind of going up against him and talking to him. But I just thought he was great. In every scene he was in, I was like, oh, I'm locked in. And then when he was gone, I was kind of like,
Yeah.
more bored now.
But everything he
But
says is all about safety. Like
yeah.
he's just like you're way too reckless. Like that was like his main thing to um to Maverick, you know?
Yeah, it's kind of like that classic trope of you have like one character who wants to do things by the book and cares about the overall big picture, like doing things the right way, and then you have somebody who's more selfish and looking at it just from their lens and not thinking about the whole group or like the safety of everything. So it's a nice like way to have characters going against each other. I feel like we've seen that trope many times, but yeah, I think that was great. And I love Goose. I think that he is really funny. I think that he's a great presence. And I was always laughing whenever he was on screen as well. But yeah, I mean, I don't, it's a little dramatic. Like, I don't know. I'm just not super into military movies in general,
That's
but
fair. That's fair.
I just
It's
I had a hard
it's
time
very
getting into it.
more. It gave me way more like high school vibes than like
Yeah, like these guys are
which it
married
shouldn't. But
with
yeah,
kids.
yeah.
Like some of them are like full on like 25 to 27-year-olds, and it just kind of felt like, is this really how men act? I don't know.
They
I
do.
think there's just not a lot here for someone like me. I don't know. Like I don't feel like there was a lot for me to grab onto. That was really my thing personally, but I still liked um the overarching like characters and a lot of what was happening. I had a hard time like really locking in and being
That's fair.
like hooked into the story. It wasn't working for me. And then all these scenes with the girl in between it all, I was just like, no, you don't walk into a bathroom and have that work and have her think that's like cute and charming that you came into the bathroom, and she's just like whatever
Yeah,
and
that's
thinks that's
actually
like
assault
flirting.
now. So just letting you know, don't do that.
The man came in the girl's locker room and be like, "What the fuck are you doing in here? Get the fuck out!"
yeah,
And I'd probably punch him in the face or kick him in the balls. Like I don't know. And the whole scene of them singing to her, I just thought it was all really over the top. But again, it fits that 80s,
yeah.
just
Fits.
classic, campy, over the top. Like these movies are made for like middle America, like just basic simpleton people. Like, that's what they made these for. Like they're fun and they can be great, but there's not a lot to chew on. I mean,
Yeah,
they're so simple. It just doesn't do anything for me.
for sure.
I wish it did.
For sure. I'm going to give you a task by the end of this podcast, Ash.
Hmm.
We each got to decide what each other's call sign is if we were in. Okay, I'm just going to let you noodle on that. But I'll pick yours and you pick mine.
Okay.
All right, cool. The contrast between Maverick and Iceman continues in a later exercise. Viper and Jester team up against Maverick and fellow F-14 pilot Hollywood. Maverick breaks a cardinal rule by abandoning his wingman to go after Viper, and in doing so, Hollywood is shot down, in quotes. And then the same fate befalls Maverick, so it's entirely his fault, again, from his cockiness. But the worst is yet to come. For Maverick is teamed with Iceman and Maverick is teamed with Iceman, and Maverick, determined to win the school contest, angrily chews out Iceman for taking too long to attack an enemy craft. Maverick takes a shot, but when the two aircraft get too close, the backwash from Iceman's thrusters cripples Maverick's engines, and the F-14 plunges towards the sea. Goose barely succeeds in yanking open the emergency ejection handles, but when the fighter canopy pops open, the two pilots eject, and Goose crashes into the canopy, killing him. Goose is dead. So fun fact here, stunt pilot, not really fun fact at all. Fact here.
The order of you saying Goose died. Fun fact here.
Yeah, no, but like this next thing isn't fun at all. The fact here, stunt pilot Art Scholl was killed during the production of the film, age 54. He died with his Pitts S2 camera plane failed to recover from a flat spin and plunged into the Pacific Ocean. Jesus, sorry. Scholl's last words over the radio were, quote, "I have a problem, I have a real problem." The exact cause of the crash was never determined, and neither the aircraft nor Scholl's body were ever recovered. The film is dedicated to him. Isn't that crazy?
Jeez.
Yeah, that's fucking hectic.
Wow.
Yeah.
Scary. It's a very dangerous job.
It is, and it's insanely dangerous. I'm about to go into the end of the film. So anything to add here, or do you want me to continue?
The volleyball scene.
Oh, how hot is it?
So
Also, okay, yeah, quick one. You're about to go on a date, okay? What are you not going to do? Extensive exercise and then not shower?
Oh yeah, I'm just gonna go take a shower at your house. What?
I love her. She's like, no, you can't. I'm hungry. Yeah, I love that.
That
He
scene was so
would.
weird though.
He would be so stinky. I don't give a shit how hot you are. You would smell like shit. So
Yeah.
yeah, no, I'm
No,
big.
shower definitely necessary. Not gonna hang out and have lunch with that smelly ass guy.
Who's
And
playing volleyball in jeans?
yeah, it's weird.
Okay, I'm starting to get onto your page here now.
And also, I'm sorry, you haven't mentioned it yet, but this is my review of the movie.
Go ahead.
If I hear "Take My Breath Away" one more goddamn time, I'm going to write a letter. I'm going to start a war against that song because it played about 8 times.
Yeah,
It's completely unnecessary.
yeah.
That's what I'm saying. This movie is so simple. Like, there's people out there. My mom probably loves this movie because she loves like simple, basic movies with just like a lot of fluff and music and like fun stuff happening. And they play the same songs over and over again.
That's so
Multiple
funny.
songs play multiple times in this movie.
That's so funny.
And that pisses me off. That's all I
Alright.
have to say.
That's all. That's all she has to say, guys. So
Sorry.
Back
I'm not
off.
trying to hate on this movie. We talk about movies we love all the time. So I feel like I
No.
don't get to
no, it's
have
fine.
ones very often that I don't really like.
I don't think you
And
hate this film.
No, I
It's
don't
just
hate
like
it.
no. It's just that's fine criticism.
It's just
I don't hate it. It's just
just these kind of movies irritate me because like they're necessary and that's
Yeah.
why it's irritating to me. And I
Yeah.
do get enjoyment out of it,
Yeah.
but it's not good.
No.
That's the thing. I get enjoyment, but it's not good. That's
Yeah.
my final summary of it.
Yeah. It's not good. It's great. Anyway, Maverick is devastated by Goose's death, and though an inquiry clears him of any wrongdoing, his confidence is destroyed, as it fucking should be. He nevertheless graduates from the class and is reassigned to the Enterprise, where an incident with an enemy MIGs lead to a fateful battle involving Iceman as well as Maverick. Iceman and Hollywood are launched to intercept a pair of MIGs, but are jumped by 4 additional enemies. Hollywood is shot down, and Iceman hopelessly surrounded when Maverick is launched. Now with Merlin as his RIO, Maverick quickly arrives at the scene of battle but is surrounded by enemies. And when he flies into one ship's jet wash, his own fighter briefly stalls. Sorry, this is just so... It's just another language to me, to be honest. And though he regains control, he flashes back to Goose's death and breaks off, leaving Iceman, who has long doubted Maverick's courage after Goose's death, trapped as Merlin desperately and furiously yells at Maverick to get back into the battle. Maverick is haunted by memories of his dead father and the loss of Goose. He's unable to shake this off, but Viper talks to Maverick, and suddenly Maverick begins to re-engage with the enemy, shoots down four enemy MIGs. The remaining MIGs abandon their chase of Iceman. Both land back on the Enterprise. Maverick is the hero, and then you get that great line of, "You can be my wingman any day." No, you can be my wingman any day. Guys stuff. Yeah, fucking testosterone. So good. Loved it. That is Top Gun. I'm giving it 4 stars.
Really?
Yeah. I love Top Gun. I have such a ball watching this movie.
Wait, I wrote down this line. Does the girl say this to him at some point? Take me to bed or lose me forever. That's Meg Ryan.
That's
right?
Meg Ryan.
That's
She
the one
goes,
from-
yeah,
Okay.
she's like, Goose, you big stud. Yeah, honey, take me to bed or lose me forever. Show
Okay.
me the way. Like, that's so
That's right.
good. That's
I wrote it down, but I didn't put who said it, and I was just making sure that was the same line that you were referring to.
That's the one.
Um,
That's a great line.
Very good. Meg Ryan's adorable. She only
Yeah.
has like 8 minutes of screen time, and she makes an impact. Love Goose as a character. Very sad. I wish that his character didn't have to die, but I think it was necessary for Maverick's kind of progression into obviously this job and learning how to work with other people. So I think it was obviously important for the story, but awful that it had to be through death of his partner, his wingman. I do like the last 20 minutes, I will say, had me pretty hooked when they were going through that final like test and they were up there. That definitely had me hooked. I think that's where the movie like I was like, oh, okay, this is fighter pilots are pretty cool. Like this stuff they're doing is dangerous. This is fucking badass, and it's pretty cool. So yeah, I was pretty hooked there. Just didn't like the romance stuff. Didn't like Tom Cruise that much in this. Love Val. Love the guy who plays Goose. I keep saying that. I really need to just look up the actor's name. Love Meg Ryan.
Goose is Anthony Edwards.
Anthony Edwards. Sorry, Anthony, that I've been calling you Goose the whole time.
He's a fan of the show. He writes it all the time.
Oh, I'm sure he does.
Let's make sure he's alive. One second.
But yeah, I think if this movie focused more on what they do and like kind of the brotherhood, like I said, kind of like Maverick does, there's still a side romance kind of in that too, but it's much less of a focus than it is in this movie. So I think that they just kind of didn't put something fully together here that I think worked. I think it's like pieces of something that works, but it wasn't really all coming together for me. And I never want to hear that song "Take My Breath Away" ever again. 2.5 stars. Sorry.
2.5.
Yeah.
Oh, we got fucking issues. Wow. All right. Well, now we're taking a month off.
Now Harry's done with me. I'm actually not coming back in July.
All right. So that is Top Gun. Before we end off, we'll do a little draft. But again, we are taking June off so that we can. We're doing a little rebrand, which will be good. New system. You'll see it. You'll understand when you see it. It's going to look cool. And we'll come back with. Do we know the first film that we're doing with Spielberg? We probably should have discussed it before. No, we don't. Doesn't matter. We'll post it before.
Be a nice surprise.
Yeah, we'll post it before. It will be a Spielberg film though. That's all you'll know. It'll be a Spielberg film, which will be good fun. But until then, we're just going to finish everything off with a little draft, which will be we're just doing movies that deserved a sequel. So
So they can't have
top.
had a sequel be made or in the works.
Yeah.
They
So
they
like,
deserved it, but they never got it.
I'd love to pick Constantine, but Constantine 2 is greenlit, so can't pick that.
Yep.
But movies that
Yep.
deserved a sequel. Ash, I went first last turn, so I'm going to allow you to go first this turn.
I have a question first. Are we still doing the call sign or names?
Oh,
Because
good shit. Yeah,
I wrote down
I
a couple.
completely forgot about that. Thank you for reminding me. Yes, I've got my name already for you. So
What's
yeah,
mine? I want to know.
Scooter. Yeah, Scooter.
Okay.
Scooter, come in. Scooter.
So I have three options for you, and I
Go
want to tell
ahead.
you all of them
Go ahead.
because they're all ridiculous for different reasons.
Yeah,
Okay. The first one's just the swan
that's not bad.
because you always talk about the swans, and that's like me and Scooter. That's like that's your thing.
I like it.
That's yeah.
I like it a lot.
You don't seem impressed, but that's the first one.
Yeah, that's
The
good.
second one is a bit of a weird one. Okay. This is a combination of one of your favorite movies and your current hair situation. Neo mullet.
I don't mind that at all. Neo mullet. I don't mind that.
And the last one, Dayman, fighter of
Ah,
the night man.
I'll pick Dayman. Dayman, absolutely.
Scooter and Dayman.
That's
That's
so
where we're
good.
at.
Absolutely. Scooter and Dayman. So
For
Ash,
those who don't know, Harry and I both are obsessed with Always Sunny.
it's the
So
best show of all time. One of the
it
best
is.
shows of all time.
It's the
Easily
best.
though, like easily. It's so
Come
good.
on.
Come on. Can I offer you an egg in this trying time?
Like, you probably can't see it, but I have my Ongo Gablogian
Yeah,
picture right here behind me.
I've got.
Your
They're
pillows.
not set up, but I've got the pillows of Charlie and oh my god, Mac.
That's
Jesus Christ, what am I doing with my life?
So they have what you have on the couch. They make those in like a portrait. And I so badly was thinking about getting them for my bathroom where they're like staring across
Oh,
from
that's
each other.
good. That's good.
I haven't done it yet, but I kind of want to.
Yeah, do it. That'd be good fun.
All right. So you're letting me go
Yeah,
first?
you can go first.
Well, I think you know what I'm going to say. The only sequel that hasn't been made that I
Yeah,
give any kind of shit about is obviously The Nice Guys.
yeah. That's why I kind of wanted you to go first because I'm like I would have picked that and you would have been angry at me.
I'd be hopping off this pod and never coming back.
Yeah, that's fair enough. Well, I'm gonna go comedy as well, ish. It's comedy-ish.
Hmm.
It's horror comedy. Shaun of the Dead's one of my favorite films of all time, and I feel like that should have deserved a sequel.
Yeah, I agree with that. Love that movie.
I love Shaun of the Dead, man.
So good. Okay, I kind of got a weird little compilation of list here. Okay, how to get creative.
Yeah, that's all right.
So hear me out. Because you took it in the last draft we did, I want to take it here. Super bad. But we follow them to college, maybe.
Love it.
Death comes to visit them at Dartmouth. And they get drunk and go on a wild adventure and meet college girls and go to parties and do the same thing basically, but just at college.
Yeah, love it. Love it. Yeah, that's a good pick. My second pick. I look at this argument, this question of like to get sequels, which movies should have sequels, and it's all revolves around the worlds. So it's not specifically that one movie, which I love. This like one of my favorite sci-fi's of all time, and I just think it created this world that should have been revisited already, which is The Fifth Element.
I knew you were going to say that.
I love The Fifth Element so much.
Yep. That would have been an interesting one to follow that world and kind of see
Yeah.
what they could do with it. Yeah, unfortunately, when I was prepping for this, I was thinking much more literally. I didn't even consider movies where it's just like the world could continue, but not necessarily the characters.
Yeah.
But that's okay. We're gonna go along with
Totally
it.
alright.
I can't pick It Follows, right? Because that technically has been greenlit.
Yeah, They Follow
Follow?
is
Okay.
got a new one. Yep.
Okay, so I got another fun one here.
Go ahead.
Hundreds of Beavers.
Yeah, love it. Yeah, love it. Love it. Love
I
it.
could watch 10 hours of that guy just running
It's
around.
so good, right? Remember when I first saw it and I messaged you and Marta straight away? I
Yes.
was like, you need to watch Hundreds of Beavers.
It has been one of my favorite new watches of this year. It's so funny.
Yeah, that's a really
So
good
funny.
one. It's a very good one, Ash.
Mine's gonna be all comedies, I'm telling you right now.
Could I say, like, a film that deserves a sequel, but it's like the second film and it deserves a third film?
A sequel to the sequel?
Yeah. There's two movies, but there needs to be a third made.
I don't know. You created this draft idea, so you tell me what the rules
Well,
are. I don't know. I
how
don't
about
care.
I tell you what it is and you can decide yes or no? Because I'm okay. If you
Okay.
want to say no, that's totally sweet.
What is it?
Hellboy 2, The Golden Army, and there needs to be a trilogy for Hellboy, specifically from
Yeah,
GDT, Guillermo del Toro.
that's fine.
Yes. Yes.
Never seen any Hellboy movies, so
Ah,
couldn't. Really.
I love Hellboy.
Okay. One that we've already talked about that I feel like the ending sets up perfectly that I would totally watch a bunch of is Trap. Just for more Josh Hartnett being that
Oh,
character.
yeah, good pick. I love Trap. Trap's great. Trap is a fucking good movie, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
Um, I'm gonna pick Dredd, the remake of Judge Dredd with Carl Urban.
Never seen it.
Oh man, Dredd rules.
I've heard people talk about it, but that's just not, it's not like a, that genre is tough for me. I feel like I do like a lot of stuff that's similar, but I also get like kind of burnt on it if I watch too much of it. So I try to kind of
Yeah, that's fair.
take it easy with those types of movies. But I am starting to get even more into sci-fi, so I might have to check out some of those.
Might have to check them out.
All right, this is my final pick.
Please don't pick my last pick, please.
I'm going to take a movie that I think gets too much disrespect, and that is Bullet Train. Give me a billion of those movies.
It's a good movie. I love Bullet Train.
I think it's fun. I feel like when it comes to like sequels, I feel like I don't want just my favorite movies to be sequels. You know what I mean? I want it to be like stuff that's fun too.
Yeah.
Like it needs to make sense. So I just feel like that's one that I don't know how they do it. It
Yeah.
could just be different characters on a train doing similar things. I'm sure it would get old after a while, but it's entertaining.
If we go back like 2 years, I would have ended this with Zootopia. But
I know,
Zootopia
me
2 is
too.
happening. Yeah, I love Zootopia.
Love
Zootopia.
Zootopia.
Zootopia is awesome. But I'm going to finish it with District 9. The fact that we haven't got District 10 is nuts.
Crazy.
So, yeah, District 9 for sure.
Nice. Couple of honorable mentions that I had. Wrote down Sky High. I just feel like I'd like to spend more time with those characters. It's just so fun. Kurt Russell as the dad, and I just
I
love
love
it.
that big. Sky High's great.
School of Rock.
Yep.
Maybe like college or high
College.
school. Do
Yep.
another show together. Step Brothers
Yep.
too.
Yep.
Be
For sure.
entertaining and dumb but fun. And the last one I had, you haven't seen this, but Black Dynamite. This is a movie
I've
that
seen Black
Marta
Dynamite.
introduced. Oh, you've
Yeah.
seen it? Okay.
Yeah, I've seen Black
I
Dynamite.
just love to see more of him doing
Yeah, he's
what he
great.
does.
Yeah, he's great. That's
Those are
great.
my picks.
Yeah, nice. Well, like I kept looking up, like just for inspiration, and it kept just saying Beetlejuice. I'm like, but Beetlejuice is made.
They're made.
Been made.
It
I was
wasn't
like,
very good.
it wasn't very good. Oh wait, I didn't mind Beetlejuice. Beetlejuice.
I didn't like the new one. It was kind of disappointing for me.
Alita Battle Angel was one for me. I
Ooh, I
loved
haven't seen
Alita.
that.
I loved Alita Battle Angel. Edge of Tomorrow, but I'm pretty sure that's still in the works. It's been.
Oh, okay.
I'm not sure if it's greenlit. You can correct me if I'm wrong in the.
I actually haven't looked into that one.
But I really love Alita Battle Angel. Yeah, no, Edge of Tomorrow. I really love Edge of Tomorrow. Galaxy Quest as well. Goonies, Inception. Inception sequel could be cool.
I don't think the Goonies sequel would work. I think
No,
it's
I don't
good.
think
They
so as
won't
well. It
make
wouldn't
one.
have made my list, but it's like
I love that movie, but I just don't think that it needs to happen.
no, that's fair enough. That's fair enough. Well, that is the end of the podcast. Again, next month we'll be taking a break, but we'll be coming back fierce in July.
Better than
With Steven Spielberg, we'll be putting out a post saying which films to watch, so keep an eye out. But until then, I'm Harry. That's Ash. We are Love Death Movies. We're gonna stay the name Love Death Movies, but we are Love Death Movies. We'll see the movies.